2024 Mitsubishi Triton Athlete versus 2024 Ford Ranger Wildtrak. Full comparison. News of a carmaker releasing a special or limited edition of one of their vehicles should always be received with a certain degree of cynicism. The limited edition can be a sign that the manufacturer in question is attempting to jazz up the few remaining examples of a soon-to-be outdated generation of its vehicle with a few accoutrements, afterthoughts as accessorizing. Sometimes this can merely be a sticker pack, sometimes it's a bit more, or a lot more substantial than that. But when the special version of the vehicle has decent gear on board beyond standard, then it's worth considering. So, is Mitsubishi's new limited edition Mitsubishi Triton Sport a dud or a delight? Ford has identified a gap in its local lineup it needed to fill by offering a more off-road focused version of the Ranger Wildtrak called the Wildtrak X. This model name was used in the original T6 Ranger generation, so it's been dusted off for a second run. The X is designed for customers who want greater off-road ability than the Wildtrak or New Platinum, but without the compromises in payload and tow ratings of the Baja-busting Raptor. So, with trad use in mind, we recently put one to the test to see if Ford has maintained enough practicality in this newcomer to serve efficiently in the dual roles of weekday worker and weekend fun machine. Deep dive comparison. Verdict: the Triton is a reasonably quiet and comfortable daily driver and more than capable of tackling hard off-road challenges. It's a low-key, no-nonsense OODA offering real value for money appeal, and it's often underestimated and overlooked because it lacks the pizzazz of some of its rivals. The sport treatment adds nothing of substance to what is already a decent OODA, and, while the Triton overall is feeling a bit dated, there's still plenty of life left yet in the standard versions. Well, at least until the new generation arrives here in 2024. If the aim of our test vehicle is to provide a premium Ranger with greater off-road ability, but without the Raptor's smaller payload and tow ratings, the Wildtrak X is bang on target. This versatile machine has plenty of appeal for trad eyes and adventurers alike. Design: the Triton no major changes to the Sport over regular Triton variants, beyond the aforementioned stripes, etc., and so it has the same look and feel as its stablemates. That's okay, because the Triton's distinctive, some might say polarizing, dynamic shield front end sharpens up what would otherwise be a typically generic-looking contemporary OODA. The X certainly looks like a top-shelf offering, but its appeal is more than visual, as evidenced by a bespoke suspension and wheel/tire package that results in a 30mm increase in track width for a wider stance and a 26mm increase in ground clearance that enhances off-road approach, ramp over and departure angles. This suspension setup includes Bilstein position-sensitive monotube dampers with nitrogen-charged external reservoirs that minimize heat-related fade and optimize ride comfort and handling response for on- and off-road driving. Like the exterior, the Wildtrak X's spacious and plush interior has fine attention to detail. There's leather-accented seats with Miko suede, body-colored piping and embroidered Wildtrak X logos, plus Terra suede and body-colored stitching throughout the cabin. There's also adequate room for tall people like me, 186 centimeters, in the rear seat, with knee-room that's enhanced by front seat backrests that are concave in shape to optimize space. Rear seat passengers also have access to heating/cooling vents plus 2 USB ports in the rear of the center console. Practicality. 2024 Triton. Sure, it's feeling a bit old, but the Triton's cabin has that comfortably familiar feeling about it you only ever get in tried and tested vehicles. It's a bit cocoon-like inside, but it's cozy, not confining, and materials are a reasonable mix of leather on the seats and tough plastic surfaces everywhere else. The leather accents and red stitching add a subtle layer of panache to a pleasant interior that is well laid out with all controls easy to locate and operate. Familiar. With its hefty 2,432 kilograms curb weight, the Wildtrak X is 103 kilograms heavier than a standard Wildtrak, resulting in a 70 kilograms increase in GVM to 3,350 kilograms and a small 33 kilograms reduction in payload rating to 918 kilograms. It maintains the standard Wildtrak's benchmark 3,500 kilograms brake tow rating and 6,350 kilograms GCM, how much it can legally carry and tow at the same time. However, to tow that weight without exceeding the GCM would require a sizable 500 kilograms, half a ton, reduction in payload to 418 kilograms. Not that many, if any, X-owners would need to tow 3,500 kilograms, but that peak rating provides a useful safety margin when towing lighter trailers. The load tub comes standard with a protected drop-in bed liner, powered roller shutter, lift-assisted tailgate, and 12-volt accessory outlet. Loads can be secured using either slide-adjustable anchorages mounted high on the tub's sidewalls, or 6 fixed points closer to the floor. The only negative with the roller shutter is that when fully retracted it eats into the load tub's length. Even so, with 1,217 millimeters between the wheel arches, the load tub can accommodate a standard Aussie or Euro pallet. There's also a clever roof rack system reminiscent of a Swiss Army knife. Each roof rail contains a pivoting blade which can swing 90 degrees across the roof to lock into place in the opposing rail. This creates an instant roof rack which can be neatly tucked away again when not required. To carry longer items, another load rack behind the rear window can easily slide rearwards on rails and be locked into place in a choice of 5 positions along the load tub. This rack also houses a hidden support beam which can be raised and locked in a vertical position. Very clever. In terms of cabin storage, there are large and small bottle holders, which aren't as good as the first-gen design, and a bin in each front door, an overhead glasses holder, pop-out cup holders on each side of the dash, under the air vents, and upper and lower glove boxes with an open storage shelf between them on the passenger side. The center console has a cordless phone charging pad and 2 USB ports at the front, 2 small bottle/cup holders in the center, and a padded lid on a box at the rear which doubles as an elbow rest when driving. Rear seat passengers get small and large bottle holders and a bin in each door, pockets on each front seat backrest, and a fold-down center armrest with 2 small bottle/cup holders. Its bench seat base can also swing up and be stored vertically if more internal storage is needed. Price and features. The Mitsubishi Triton Sport Edition is based on the mid-spec GLS and is available only with a 2.4-liter turbo diesel 4-cylinder engine, 133 kilowatts per 430 newton meters, and a 6-speed automatic transmission. Only 400 units of the limited edition Sport were initially announced as available in Australia, but that has been extended to 900 units due to demand, according to Mitsubishi. The manufacturer's suggested retail price is listed as $56,440, excluding on-road costs. Our test vehicle was also equipped with a hard one-piece tonneau cover, $3,116, tow bar kit, $1,300